Welcome to our first K-pop recap episode. Lotus and I, Dani, if you don't know my voice, we threw this episode around, or this idea around, for possibly a year before I think we finally got the final plans and figured out how we were going to do this. Because things happen, plans change, whatever. But if you've listened to us before, I feel like you kind of know what to expect coming into this recap episode.
We've been planning it for a long time, and we have both been laid off. So it's not only we would do this for fun anyways eventually, right? But now it's also like we gotta have something to do. So it might as well be something that we want to do and that people indicate that they like to listen to.
Absolutely. That is a big factor. Time is all we have at this point. So here we are. Basically every month, which is the goal, we'll come back, discuss the K-pop comebacks and debuts that matter to us specifically. I don't think there will ever be a month where we will cover everything that has come out.
No, there's no way, especially because K-pop is so much bigger than it used to be. There's no way I think we even listen to everything genuinely that came out in a month.
No, I think at the start of January, I maybe tried to, but that quickly fell by the wayside. It's too much, and not all of it's going to be good. So we won't cover everything, but we'll cover enough.
Yeah, we'll cover enough. This is also not this is not a drama news kind of podcast. It's mostly about the music, but if there is something I think imperative that comes up, we'll probably talk about it. When we're talking about K-pop events of December 2022 and January 2023, there is one large one that we will mention briefly that is kind of impossible to not talk about, I think.
But before we even get into that, let's talk about the heart of K-pop, the music. And 2020, like Lotus said, we're starting this in December because in our yearly best of episode, we don't cover December songs.
Yeah, it's just a timing thing.
Yeah, so we'll bring it here. Let's talk about SM Entertainment and the SMCU, because they did a lot in December leading into January.
Yeah, when normally it's like they kind of try to kick off the year, it's like they recognize that almost nothing ever happens in December and try to just kind of take over the entire month. Also, does SMCU really stand for SM Cinematic Universe, or does the C mean something else? I can't remember.
That has to be canon, right?
It's obviously a reference to the MCU. Of course it is.
Yeah, hold on. Oh, excuse me. It's the SM Culture Universe.
That's what, right, because NCT is Neoculture Technology.
It is. Okay. And I have to believe that the SMCU really didn't pop off until COVID popped off.
No. I mean...
that phrasing is a little strange, but...
Yeah, now that you say it. No, yeah, because I mean, I feel like I don't even remember... Maybe the event did exist and I just didn't know about it, but I don't remember people talking about or having watch parties here in the West for the SM yearly event on New Year's until 2021, going into 2021, right? So December 31st, 2020. I don't remember it at all. It's I think increasingly become a mess because this year there was, I believe, a 45-minute segment where they had a gentleman who clearly really liked NFTs come up onto the stage and talk about how planting trees is important.
Yeah, so before we're talking about SM's, I don't even know what they call it, the Winter Palace, I think, was this year theme or title.
The album is called 2022 Winter SM Town SMCU Palace.
So that,
yeah.
2022's end of the year SM Town. They've been doing it online since COVID, and it's where all the SM artists come and perform songs from their albums that released that year, some of the new songs, etc. 2022, however, they decided to do a sort of summit event prior to the show. And it was a big strange mess. It was very eco-friendly.
But so like, faux
eco-friendly because SM has been on the NFT way for a very long time.
Yeah, can I also just say really quickly, as a notable bleeding heart environmentalist, planting trees doesn't actually do anything. Like, I'm just going to tell you right now, the reason that it's important to offset carbon emissions by planting trees, that's a fake thing, because young trees do not do that. You need old growth trees to do that. So if you're planting them now and being like, okay, I set off 15 tons of carbon emissions by planting a forest, that's not a forest, and a lot of those are going to die also. Even if it did matter, a lot of them are going to die because they're baby trees. So it was it was such an awful beginning to the thing that dragged on for such a long time. Because 45 minutes was just like the intro summit. There was still more stuff after that.
Yeah. And like they brought multiple people out. They brought professors from US colleges who were, I don't know, head of the Korean culture things at their schools, but like they were both notably white.
Oh yeah, really. I mean, they got professors, that's a special kind of white that you can get.
Yes. They had a man come out who discussed a new type of vaccination that was an eco-vaccination.
Oh my God, you're right. You're right.
It was very strange. Suho from EXO came out and they called him protector of EXO and the world. And then it just kept going in that direction until finally they said, all right, let's start the concert.
Yeah, quite abruptly. It went on for so long, so unnecessarily, but it still felt strange when it ended.
Yes. It felt so sinister. It feels so evil. For it to end and then immediately you launch into just this horribly CGI'd cutscene of a fake train entering Kwangya, which is now like a high-tech metropolis.
Have you ever seen Big Hero 6?
Vaguely, I remember it.
Do you know, the villain, white, like, president of the university or whatever he is, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember just, like, watching that movie for the first time and being like, it's so weird that there's not a villain in this movie yet? And then you hear that man talking and you're like, oh.
Right.
It's one of those corporate villains. That's what watching this was like in real time. I was like, I think I'm watching an actual supervillain, like a real life capitalist, like Final Fantasy VII supervillain take the stage. I felt so weird and it felt so wrong. When they started talking about vaccines, I actually got really scared. The vaccine thing is weird, but I thought they were going to say something worse.
Yeah, because Lotus.
Yeah.
A music company that has been around for decades is cited as like one of the first companies to really bring K-pop to the mainstream. A lot of money, a lot of artists. Mm-hmm. They say, let's hold a summit. So let's talk about vaccines. No good is going to come from that.
Yeah, really, I feel like we kind of got the least evil of what could have happened, but I still don't like it.
It was just some weird hypothetical nature-based vaccine. Like, okay, sure.
Extremely corporate streak. It was pretty awful. Also, one really weird thing about the event, like you said, they get into the music, and I distinctly recall them saying the debut of this song, and then they played Hot and Cold by Kai, Solji, Gino, and Karina, which very notably came out, I believe, 2 entire weeks prior to the show happened, and with the full music video.
I don't even think they said debut. I think they said the first time it's ever been seen.
Yeah, they said something like that, like a world premiere or something to that effect.
This was a music event, a concert, quote unquote, but barely any of it was live. So it's not even as if that performance was like the first live performance that they had shown.
No, it was the same one.
They simply played the video that they had already uploaded to YouTube 2 weeks prior.
Such a strange decision. They also they also did Beautiful Christmas by aespa and Red Velvet, which had also come out even earlier, like 3 weeks prior.
Yes,
I don't think they said the same
early.
premiere thing, but it was still weird that it was the exact same thing. Like, you'd have to expect, maybe you do that as your backup, right? You're like, okay, if anybody gets COVID, or if like we can't hold this for some reason, we'll play those music videos. Maybe that is what happened, and they covered it up real good. But it did appear that that was how the show was supposed to happen, and I don't know why you would do that.
No, because I'm trying to think. Unfortunately, I have watched, like, I think every post-COVID SM Town. And usually I do think they have, like, new live performances.
Yeah, they did it the previous one.
Yeah, this year, strange. Again, strange. There were, what, 2 new songs performed? Or, like, they showed the music video for The Cure.
Yeah, I think Got the Beat was new, I want to say.
That was new. Their comeback was the new song, but that was it.
Yeah. And that song sounded really similar to the last one.
It does. It sounds really similar, and it's not.
There's such bizarre songs, too. Like, the first one has Gregorian chants sampled into the mix, and somehow this song still sounds like it, even though it doesn't have that. I don't know. It Got the Beat is bizarre.
It's bizarre. I understand why it happens. Like, Super M exists, so why not have Got the Beat? But Got the Beat feels so specifically like a BoA side project that she wanted to do, just to get a few more albums out throughout the year.
Yeah. It feels so weirdly low budget. Like, it's that thing that we always talk about where it feels like boy groups are just always kind of given a certain amount of precedence and a certain higher budget, even if technically the girl groups in the company are like doing better financially speaking. So seeing Super M side by side with Got the Beat, very odd. I'm very interested to see what Super M's comeback this year is going to look like in comparison.
Oh, yes.
Got the Beat feels like they are just trotted out. I can't say it feels like a BoA side project that she wants to do. I feel like she doesn't want to do it, and that's why she's like, I'll do it for your fucking New Year's event.
That's fair.
You know what I mean?
Have you ever seen, like, the live performances for any Got the Beat songs?
Yes, I have.
They're not good, and not because the people in the group aren't talented. There's maybe 2 people giving any sort of effort.
Yeah, it's also such a choice in K-pop to be where, like, a lot of your groups have lived together for years. Even newer groups, a lot of times they've lived together for years, and so they have a certain amount of camaraderie and just understanding of one another built up. So doing a super group just doesn't feel like a good idea.
You have very clearly 2, like, groups of 2 people each that know each other. Yeah. And the rest is just awkward interactions, weird chemistry.
Weird.
Do you have any specific thoughts about SM's The Cure?
I think that it sounds almost exactly, perhaps intentionally, perhaps unintentionally, like in the early 2000s when a bunch of random artists would get together and do one song together for like an earthquake in Haiti.
We are the
or something
world,
like
we
that.
are the people.
Yes, exactly. It's not Kumbaya, but it's in the same family.
Yeah. Like when a song gives off a weird feeling, I try to like remember what it's saying, like, you know, get the English captions and figure out what is this song supposed to be about. I don't remember with SM The Cure, but I have to imagine, based off of the title and the fact that I distinctly remember people walking through trees.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's the eco vaccine.
It's gotta be the eco vaccine song. I hate it. I don't think I like it. I'm gonna say that.
I do think it's also dark side. It doesn't sound bad, but
it doesn't sound bad.
But I'm not gonna listen to it. I don't know. I don't really know who SMCU Palace is for, if I'm gonna be totally honest. Like, I do objectively, right? It is for company stans. It is for people who stan multiple groups in these companies, and it's an attempt by SM not only to kind of satisfy them / extract more money from them, but also to get them into other groups. So, like, if someone is a huge fan of NCT and also they like Kai or something like that, then that's how you try to pull them in to maybe an aespa, a Red Velvet, etc. Yeah. But at the same time, I look at these and I'm like, who is this for? Who asked for this? Who wants this?
Yes, because, like, beyond all of that, I want to say that SM Town this in 2022, it lasted like 4 hours, maybe
It was
four and a
really long.
half. It was really long to just get videos of performances of songs that you've already heard multiple times throughout the year.
I think we can't discount Jeff Keighley's influence because there were multiple times during the program, which I didn't finish, I'll be honest.
No.
Well, okay, no, I did finish it, but I left in the middle. So, there were multiple times where I was like, is this supposed to be like the Game Awards? When they said a world premiere, they didn't use the exact phrase, but in my head, I could hear the Game Awards announcer voice, world premiere, before fucking Hot and Cold. It's so strange. I don't know. I don't think I like it. It feels like similar to the Game Awards. It feels like a very weirdly corporate affair that's just trying to make fans out of people, and I don't like it.
Yeah, that's all it is.
It has a bad vibe.
Like, I don't want to sound naive and sound like it doesn't feel like they're just genuinely trying to put on a good show. Because at the end of the day, like, everything is about money. That's just, we live in a society, blah, blah, blah.
But you can at least make it fun.
You can at least make it fun. And, like, seeing what SM Towns used to be and what they are now, it feels very corporate and empty. And just kind of cold. Oddly enough.
Cold is the word for it. It feels calculated. It feels clear cut.
Yeah, and like I can't have fun.
I can't have fun.
Not when it's that obvious. There's a lot that I can ignore in K-pop.
Yeah, we kind of objectively know that all idols are like actors to an extent. Like, not only do they have their stage personas, but how they are in a high touch or a fan call or a fan sign, that's not how they actually are. And that's fine. That's totally fine. It's for fun. But I mean, this really took it to another level.
Yeah, because it's not even like trying to force like weird group, like across group interactions. There were no people.
Right, it's not like there's that thing Hive did recently where they had all of their groups and subgroups that they had, and
I was going to mention
they put them in a field and made them play little games together. That feels like it's like, okay, we obviously want you to be a fan of all these people, so we're just going to show them hanging out and kind of doing whatever. And that felt also as corporate and planned as that somehow felt more earnest. Something that Hybe made felt more earnest than something else. You need to look in the mirror and you need to figure out what you've done wrong.
I know people say Hybe is the group, like the company for the people, but Hybe is a money-making machine.
Yeah, I mean, at the time of recording this, because obviously we have to record it in February because we want to do all the January comebacks. If I'm not mistaken, Hybe has become a major shareholder of SM.
Yeah, because they're trying to push Isuman out. And apparently he worked with Hybe and said, buy my shares? So now they own a big chunk of SM.
Yeah, like, I think if you didn't realize once Big Hit changed its name to Hybe, and then, like, I mean, for me, the turning point was when all the BTS mobile games started coming out. I was like, oh, no, this is a capital C company. And then it's only gotten worse since then, so... K-pop is in a little bit of perhaps an unfun place. We've kind of been complaining for the last year about the quality of the music, and I can't think that is unrelated.
No, I mean, it's a pattern that things take, right? Once things become more global and the potential to make more money is there and exists, it's going to get bad.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's beyond just, like, a lot of K-pop songs and comebacks are really just following that trend. Like, it's not just that. It's also just the fact that there's an opportunity for K-pop companies to make a lot of money from their groups if they know how to plan and manage the right way. And so shit's just feeling a little...
Yeah, especially because, like, an SM and a Hybe and a JYP, they are so far ahead of everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
It's just about tightening that vice grip.
Yep.
Well,
we've
on that note,
we've said all this. If moving on to, like, kind of the next song we want to talk about is NewJeans is Ditto, and NewJeans isn't under Hybe directly. But it's one of Hybe's. They're under one of Hybe's many subsidiaries, correct?
Yes, they're
Yes.
under Adore, who is owned by Hybe. So in the same way that
You
Pledis
know.
is owned by Hybe. So they are a Hybe group, I would say.
You know. But I mean,
The Hydra
that
has
was
many heads, okay?
that was negative what we talked about. Let's get positive.
Let's get positive. Ditto and OMG. I hate the way that I hate the way that NewJeans is putting out music. Not the
Okay,
music, but the schedule and the way that they are doing things. Nothing has driven me more rabid than, like, I saw Ditto come out and I was like, oh, the cover's exactly the same, but it's in black and white instead of blue and white. Huh. And then 2-3 weeks later, OMG comes out and it also has a different cover, which is also just the same thing in a different color. That kind of thing drives me wild. I hate a bunch of random singles with nothing else announced.
Yes.
Like, we know they're going to be part of an album, but we don't know what it's called, right?
Yeah. Oh, I guess, right? Because they
wait,
all look
actually,
the
we don't
same.
know that technically, right? They haven't said
No?
it, I don't think.
No, actually, I don't think so. As early as groups say anything, they haven't said anything. I think what kills me is that, so you had like the first NewJeans album, and it was really interesting. It was like, oh wow, they're releasing, 4 songs and they're promoting them all. Interesting for a new girl group to have anything more than just a single. And then they released a single, and it was like, okay, Ditto. Very good song. I think it was like one of my top 25. It had to have been.
But no, because it came out too late.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, just
It was
I think just barely.
You're right. Okay, well, we'll see. But then OMG came out and it has Ditto on it. I hate that.
Yeah, this is a weird thing. I'm really used to this from, like, the EDM scene, actually. But in EDM, it's mostly because a lot of DJs will only release singles. And so then they just do it for the sake of, like, making their Spotify more organized, which is very funny.
I see.
So, if you're, like, Zed is probably a pretty good example. He, for the most part, especially since his first couple of albums, almost exclusively makes singles with other artists as features, right? So
Yeah.
his is just all singles, and then occasionally it'll be like, oh, this is an EP in extreme quotation marks, and it's like 4 songs on it. But yeah, I do just think it's a marketing thing at this point.
Yeah.
We can talk about it a bit later too with another group who is famous for not releasing a lot of songs at once, because I think that it makes a lot of sense to put a lot of energy into your single or into your title track, right? Because that is like the thing that is going to carry you for probably about half of the year. That is what the vast majority of your performances are going to be, unless you're touring. And with COVID, still around and still something you have to worry about, and with tours getting more and more kind of grueling and more expensive, and Ticketmaster being a problem, less tours are happening. So it's like, yeah, your title track is going to be pretty much the only thing that you perform, and the reason that people buy albums for 4 to 6 months.
Yeah.
So I get it. They are great songs. There's a reason that they have gone so extraordinarily viral, especially on TikTok. And there's a reason that Ditto has broken Brave Girl's Perfect All Kill record, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
But I hate the release schedule so much. It drives me up the wall.
Absolutely. But again, the music is there.
The music, NewJeans makes good music.
NewJeans has really found the sound that they can really stick with, and like with them all being so young, it just works. It's a very cute, light sound that's not baby but not super mature. It hits all of like the nostalgia points for the people like, oh, it just reminds me of being, a teenager in 2012.
In 2012.
And listening to old music from 2000, that really weird nostalgia grab that a lot of Gen Z and very young millennials tend to go for.
Yeah, it's a huge trend right now too, so it definitely makes sense for them. I'm glad that this is what they're sticking to in terms of they are so young. Let's keep on this for like another year or so, ladies. Let's not do what
right.
TXT did when they first debuted, please, because that was weird in my opinion.
Yeah, TXT had a really quick little shift.
That shit gave me whiplash. Going from your debut single is Crown and then getting to Puma.
And then getting a Puma.
Bizarre.
I remember.
I mean, technically NewJeans already released Cookie, so there's kind of, But at least it was a B-side.
it was a B-side, and the sound
No
is the
music. Well, there
same,
was a music
and
video, but
the music video was just them kind of doing what they always do, kind of
it was just kind of them
sleepily
bopping
dancing,
around. Yeah.
you know.
Little
Lyric wise,
R&B tease.
lyric wise, Cookie's a problem,
Yeah, exactly.
but you know, yeah. That's the most I'll say. But I would really appreciate if they stayed with the sound for another year, because frankly, there's enough time. Girl groups generally do not release a lot of music throughout the year
Mm-hmm.
until that one full album comes 5 years down the road. So they could do it.
They
And
could
stay
do
a
it.
top
I
group.
think they should.
I just want more girl groups. And I'll come back to this later on with other songs on the list. I just want more girl groups to listen to.
Yeah, there's I mean, I think when we did our math episode, we talked about this with Twice, which is that Twice's sound has not changed a lot in however many years, because they know what they are good at. Obviously, their early stuff is like a lot more cutesy, but they have not shifted super far on the scale. You know, they did like Fancy and More are a little bit different, but they said we know what we're good at, and
Yeah.
they are still the nation's girl group. So there you go.
They are still. And like at most, just as they get older, the sound gets slightly more mature. But even then, it's so slight. They just aren't making baby music at the age of like 25 anymore.
Yeah, that's what we'd like to see.
Learn from Twice.
Learn from Twice. Learn from Twice. Ariana Grande is probably not going to be releasing music for a while. So, ladies, there's a big gap in the market, and you should stay there.
Twice has you covered.
Twice has me covered, but NewJeans is not out of the realm of possibility with that.
No.
With that MO neither.
Nope. So, we'll see. Moving on.
Yeah, moving on. Speaking of wanting more girl groups, should we talk about that we are down a girl group?
Yeah,
We gotta talk about it at some point.
We're not down a girl group, per se.
Elaborate?
There's been no official disbandment notice. But, I hate to break it to you, Luna's dead.
They're so dead. I'm so sorry. It's the thing is, like, I don't know if we've ever seen something quite like this in K-pop. Like, even amidst all the more famous, bullying scandals and disbandments and all these things, I don't think we've ever had a situation where the fans have hated a company this much to where people are saying, yeah, I'm sad they disbanded, but thank God.
Yes. So LOONA is under BBC, Blockberry Creative.
Mm-hmm.
And I think from the start, the fans have loved LOONA and hated the company. I don't think there was ever a moment where people were like, oh, okay, a new company, new group. Cool, let's see. It was always just, fuck that company, but this new group is doing something.
Yeah, from the jump, it was like, why are you promoting them this way? This doesn't make any sense. Why are there not like certain albums or compilation albums coming out? Like, this doesn't make any sense. And then it just kind of escalated from there to, what is this comeback schedule? What is happening? And then, hey, it turns out that those sort of scheduling promotion problems were not covering up. It wasn't a fluke. Also, everything behind the scenes is a complete and total disaster, and they are evil. Allegedly, legally speaking.
Allegedly. But, like, I think a lot of, like, stans have been talking about, like, the behind-the-scenes stuff at Blockberry and, like, kind of, I guess, guessing as to what could be happening. Like, oh, maybe they're not making money or contracts are weird. I think it all came to a head when Chu was kicked out the group because they said that she was abusing her power.
They called her abusive towards staff.
That was a problem. And then literally 90% of the people that have worked with her came out publicly and said, that doesn't sound right. She's never been abusive. She's always been very kind and generous. Okay, that's, I guess you could say that's a little weird. Mm-hmm. Not long after that, a LOONA comeback was scheduled.
Yeah.
And then not long after that, there were reports that half of the group, if not the entire group of 12 girls, were suing the company to terminate their contracts.
Yeah, I believe all but 2 who also happen to be the 2 foreign members. So it's like, there's a really good chance that they just can't do that safely.
Right, because their contracts are just going to be different.
Yeah, that as
well. So that happened. And then I believe the next stage was, I'm a little fuzzy on this timeline, but
the timeline's a mess, that's why.
Because it all happened within like 2 to 3 weeks, if that.
Yeah.
There, like, half of the girls who wanted to terminate their contracts were able to terminate them, but the other half couldn't because of different clauses, unfortunately,
Yeah, I believe it's because they had already, not necessarily taken them to court, but they had already renegotiated sections of their contracts. So the court said, this is not legalese, but in regular American speech, they said, well, you already renegotiated, so it must be fine. So this doesn't make sense. You can't do this.
So throughout all of that, unsurprisingly, that comeback was delayed indefinitely.
Yeah, the great Loonionization effort of January 2023 has destroyed LOONA, and I just hope that they get out okay, because one notable thing is, like, you'll be familiar with this term, Dani, because you have also been following K-pop for like a little bit longer. Not that we're total old head K-pop fans, but it used to be a lot more common to talk about slave contracts. That used to be a very common term, and I don't think it is as much anymore because it became pseudo illegal in Korea. Like certain things you could not do anymore. But those girls are absolutely under slave contracts with extremely unfair revenue splits. So several of the LOONA girls are like in debt to the company, technically speaking.
Yeah, Chu, who was probably making the most money for the group because of how many extra and like outside group activities she did, was very vocal about never getting paid any of that money. So yeah, those contracts were horrible, and I really can't, like you said earlier, I can't think of another moment in K-pop where it was as bad as this, at least not publicly.
Yeah, not publicly, and not a whole group, I don't think.
Right, because like SM has had some issues with EXO, and then if you go a little further back with TVXQ.
Yeah.
But those were certain members of a group. This is the whole group.
Yeah.
Blackberry, maybe fucked.
Blackberry, you might not be seeing heaven, and it's because Orbits are going to send you straight to hell.
Orbits are going to send you to fucking hell. They've been waiting.
One of my favorite memes of all time is that one that's like, my parents at my funeral. Heaven has gained another angel. Me in hell. Where the fuck is Blackberry Creative? It's really that. I mean, they've gone full scorched earth on it. Do you know how bad you have to piss off K-pop fans for them to not listen to their favorite artists? Because there has been a no streaming blackout on all LOONA songs for about a month and a half now.
Yes. And usually, like, it's like, oh, it's the company. Don't punish the girl. Stream their music through this. No, Orbit said, we're not listening to a single song.
They really did Loonionize. Like, they actually did the damn thing. And I'm honestly kind of happy about it. I'm sorry it had to be this way, of course. But, there's just nothing like seeing communal action sometimes in practice.
Absolutely. No matter how bizarre, how absurd it is, like, there's something nice about it.
Yeah, it warms my heart when a group of people take a company to task. That's the American in me.
Don't do that to yourself.
I will. No, I will a little bit. Because you can say that about any country and you'll be right,
Nationalism has no bounds.
No, that's not what I meant. There's a spirit of revolution, damn you.
Okay. LOONA dead. Next talking point. And one that I'm actually a little confused about. So, Vernon from 17 released Black Eye.
Mm-hmm.
Before we talk about it, I never quite, as hard as I follow 17, I'm never quite sure what it is that they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember the 13 tapes, the TTT project that they said they were going to have?
Yes.
Where like
yeah,
every member
vaguely.
releases a solo.
Yes.
Okay. I think that this is a part of the 13 tapes collection. But like Hoshi's Spider isn't, and June's Limbo isn't.
Oh, is that true?
But Uzi's Ruby is.
Wait, really?
Like, I'm just trying to, like, be sure I know where to place this song. Let me see.
I don't think I do know, because, like, I guess my understanding of it is that individual members of 17, in a weird way, I wouldn't say they have more freedom, but they have a lot more budget under Hybe now.
Yeah.
I believe it's been rumored for a while now that S-Coop's is coming next, S-Coop single.
Yeah, I did hear that. I heard that his is coming next. Okay, yeah, Vernon's is the second 13, or is the third 13th take.
Wait, the third?
Oof, it's the third.
So,
okay.
So then whose isn't, is my question.
Oh, okay, Hoshi's Tiger song that he did with Tiger JK.
Yeah.
Is not a 13 tape, but Spider is. So it's Spider, Ruby, Black Eye. So I guess
Oh,
Limbo
no,
was
yeah,
just a
that
fun
makes
little
sense.
thing. Okay, got it. So the third of the 13 tapes released, and it was
that's
Vernon's.
Limbo using, or that's Limbo. That's Jun using his Chinese child star money just because he was like, I'm so sick of you guys not letting me do stuff. Let me make a song.
Let me make a song, and it was really good.
Really good. Showed off that slinkiness, but we've talked about before. Let's talk about Black Eye by Vernon.
Black Eye. Vernon seems to be just a weird, normal person.
He's such a normie, and that's what makes it so funny that he's such a freak.
A fucking freak.
Watching any reality show by 17, this is truly a case of if you know, you know. I don't normally recommend this, but if you don't know, if you go to YouTube and put in like a Vernon funny moments or something like that, you'll see that his funny moments are not him saying things. They're not even really him like going out of his way to be funny. It's just like he lives in his own little world.
Yes. He lives in his own little world, and it just creates such a weird moment, a weird person. But beyond that, his influences and the things that he likes are so on the surface.
Yeah.
And Black Eye was exactly that.
Yeah. I believe you refer to it as a pop punk princess song.
Pop punk princess song. Take somebody who loved Avril Lavigne.
Yeah.
And then take somebody who maybe discovered a Machine Gun Kelly. I think you can throw a little Machine Gun Kelly in there.
A sprinkle of MGK.
A sprinkle of that. And that's Black Eye. I like Black Eye for what it is.
Mm-hmm.
The concept. I appreciate Vernon creating a video that was supposed to make us think that he's hard when the lyrics were nothing but pop punk princess.
Yeah.
I love the fact that he could say, put a muzzle on me, I'll spit in your mouth. And it has no impact.
It drove the girls wild, but that's because the girls already like Vernon. And I like Vernon too. It's fun to say, ooh, it's a fun one to sing in the car. It's not quite on a TXT pop punk era level.
No.
But it's fun.
Because Black Eye, I don't think was trying to be like I don't think it was trying to be a trendy pop punk song.
Yeah.
It sounds like someone who has a playlist of a bunch of old songs, just making things that sound kind of like that. And as much as I am still deep in my pop punk phase, a decade later.
I was gonna say, I don't actually think it's a phase. I think you might just kind of be an emo, but you also like, you're just not really into the aesthetic as much and you have a day job. You know what I'm saying?
You know, it's very much of that time and not of this time.
Yeah, there's something about the song that feels weirdly empty. Not necessarily in a bad way, but it feels like there's an entire instrumental missing, and that is something that you only got in like a 2008 emo
Yep.
kind of situation.
Oh,
where
yeah.
it was they did not have someone who played that instrument, so
So
whatever.
you simply don't have it.
You just don't have it. They couldn't get a loop pedal. They couldn't have someone add it in the studio because they recorded it in someone's garage for $20.
Yes, it feels self-produced.
It feels self-produced, and I know it isn't, so that's giving me like a little bit of friction.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when an artist who has like billions of dollars tries to do camp, and it's
Yeah.
like you have to do camp to such a high level because you can't benefit from you can't benefit from the charm of being indie anymore.
Nope.
And this is a Hybe group. This is a Hybe-backed project, so I do like it, but there's like a little bit of friction in it because of that.
Yeah, I agree. It's, I don't seek this out.
Yeah, I don't seek it out, but I'm always happy when it comes on shuffle.
It
At the
is on
same
my
time.
playlist.
Yeah, it's on my playlist, Good job, Vernon. Congratulations.
Good job, Vernon. So
Try
far,
not to walk into any more doors. Sorry. Speaking of Vernon just being strange, there are
from In the Soup.
not
Have
only
you
in the
seen
soup.
those?
Yes, but it's also happened before that. We now have multiple clips of Vernon walking into glass doors while he's looking straight ahead.
That's the thing. He's looking. He
He's looking.
sees.
Right. So that's what we mean. Vernon, I want to go up to him and I want to say, Vernon, what color is the sky in your world?
Don't look. Don't look. What color is the sky?
What color
Right
is the sky?
now.
Oh, we make fun of him, but we are really big fans, actually. So
Unfortunately.
look, that is the K-YOS promise, is that we're fans of, I'm going to say 70% of the big artists, and the ones we aren't, we'll still give them credit, but we're going to make fun of everybody.
Oh, yeah. It's K-pop, baby.
It's K-pop. We're here to have fun. They make a lot of money. They're doing what they want to do. They have millions of adoring fans who will never say something even that could be misconstrued as contrarian if you put it through Google Translate 10 times. We are here to give opinions.
That's it.
Yeah. Ooh, it's you and I watch a lot of unboxings. Sorry, this is a tangent really quick. You and I watch a lot of unboxings, especially before we decide like whether or not we want an album. Nothing drives me up the wall more than these unboxing people who are you can tell that they're very scared of the K-pop fan base because they'll open a page and they'll be like, OMG, so and so looks so good. I mean, they all look so good. You can hear the heartbeat.
There is one YouTuber specifically that I know we both watch, and it'll be like, oh my goodness, like let's say someone's wearing a purple and pink leopard print shirt, and not like a cute Lisa Frank one, like a shitty one.
Okay.
They'll say, oh, this is a weird top. I mean, not that it's bad. Like, I think they look really good. I love these colors. Pink is my favorite color. This was just a joke. Like, I don't mean it.
Yeah, and the thing is,
And
you
it's
see
just
there's one person in particular, but they all do that. They're very afraid. And I kind of feel bad. I want them to be opinionated, I know that they kind of can't be, though, if they want to make money, though. So
They can't. Oh, no. It's nothing but positivity and absolute dedication if you want to make money on, like, K-pop YouTube.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're a podcast, so we're not typically on YouTube. And we're also not doing this to make money. We do it just because we like it. But there's also a certain amount of freedom knowing that it feels like we're one of, like, 3 people.
Yeah.
And we're not even mean.
No, we could be so much meaner.
We could be a lot meaner, but my heart wouldn't be in it,
No, meanness it's an instinct, and we've thought about these, of course, because we've put them on a list and decided to talk about the songs and such. But it's a strange little community.
It's very insular. It's very strange. It's fandom to the nth degree,
Oh yeah. ATEEZ.
I was gonna say, if we want to move on to something that I have virtually nothing bad to say about, Halazia by ATEEZ.
They've been doing it.
Yeah, I have exactly 2 not extremely positive things to say, and that's it.
Okay, I want to hear them because, like, maybe that'll make me think.
Number 1, I think you already know this one. This is fashion related.
Oh, yep, got it.
For me, I love ATEEZ original ATEEZ Hala outfits of the full black, super layered, lots of chains, the hats, the masks, everything super mysterious and cool looking. I love how they're styled in like a Say My Name, where they have that kind of like Wild West cowboy influence coming in. It's a lot of natural but dark colors. Halazia, I didn't dislike the styling, but it was very bizarre for where they're going here. I wanted like the 2023 version of the Hala outfits, and I did not get them. They all looked very slinky. They don't look very muscular and like cool. They were just kind of vibing.
Here's the problem though, Lotus. You're thinking about ATEEZ before the revolution.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and Halazia, they're post-revolution, pre-anarchy. And so that's
so they hung up their hats.
They hung up the hats, they took off their coats, they put on their bootcut cargos, and they said, let's fight. I fucking hate it.
Do you really hate the styling?
I do like a slinky ATEEZ because they're all, well, like most of them, the ones who they dress slinky at least,
they're very svelte.
Very, very svelte. And so I love it. But the problem I end up running into is, again, what if we're going to go slinky, why do we only do a slinky top? Why do we not?
Okay.
Like, why do we keep the pants so strange? And like, I like a sort of like super baggy pant with a really tight top. I think that's fun and cute. A combat boot. It's like that's the uniform.
Right. We're children of the 90s, if nothing else, right?
If nothing else, but like, again, it's a boot cut over a boot. And there's just something, it's almost a little too much. And I understand where they're coming from because, again, I think I'm not caught up on the ACU, the ATEEZ cinematic universe.
Uh-huh.
But I know that there's some revolution in there somewhere. There's some anarchy in there somewhere. They're fighting for like the right to sing or something. It's like it's Footloose but a little darker.
Yeah, it's like a youth freedom thing. You can kind of plug in whatever you want for the revolution. It'll work because that's how a K-pop storyline goes. It's whatever you want it to be and whatever you relate to the most. It can just be that, and that's good.
So I understand like why a lot of the styling is leaning towards PC outfits and like showing random like swaths of skin. Like it makes sense. There's just something about it that's always a little off for me with ATEEZ.
Yeah, I think it's because they never really go as far in one direction as you would want them to.
Yeah.
It's like you said, not only is it, they're trying to balance out the outfits where some things are super skin tight, but then they'll have baggy pants or whatever. What it's also like it feels like no one is allowed to be wearing too many like ostentatious colors at the same time. They primarily wear black and white with like sequins, because all of their concert performance outfits are made by Z Black, and stuff like that. If somebody has a wild hair color, who has the hair I don't like right now?
Wooyoung.
Oh, Wooyoung
bright
does.
red.
Yeah, because it's a bad shade of red. I'm sorry. They put this on San too, and I didn't like it then neither. That's part of my styling critique, though. Is that color to me just, it doesn't do anyone any favors. No. It's tough.
I get it because it's like it stands out, but it's just a hard shade to work with.
Yeah. I'd love if they, did like a cool icy cyberpunk blue again. Something fun like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like they don't go super hard on the color palette except for like one member's hair. The outfits sometimes don't seem like they match, from member to member in a music video. It's kind of weird. I can't say they're styled poorly, but it's like it can never get all the way over the finish line.
Yep, that's it. It gets so close to being like, ooh, but then like you take in the whole picture and it just, meh.
Yeah.
But Halazia as a song?
It's an excellent song.
Very good song.
This is like exactly where I enjoy Jongho the most, where he is going off constantly, but it never, I'm not someone who's as big on high notes in K-pop, I think, as a lot of other people are. I feel like they're very popular, just in the general K-pop fandom, like being able to sing really high is considered the be all end all. But that is Jongho singing high because he has a high singing voice, but just belting constantly. No, and then he's done for a while, and then it's somebody else's turn, and then he comes back again every single chorus.
And like ATEEZ has always kind of done this. They've always structured their songs around when he's going to do what he does. But it hasn't, I don't think it works as well in the past. But for like Halazia, it's really good. I love them just chanting Halazia like they're casting spells.
Yeah.
I love a slightly spooky K-pop song. And this does that. It is,
I was thinking, there is some point during Fever where an ATEEZ photo book came out, right? They have all the different versions. And it's like one version was the outfits that they wear in the music video. One version was like these cool heat wave, heat vision kind of thing. And then the third one was like Alice in Wonderland. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
And
they had like very like brightly colored suits on, maybe, or like the background is very bright.
And like people were wearing like half glasses, and it looked like they were having some kind of weird acid trip tea thing on a bunch of fake grass. It was very strange. And talking about Halazia now, his kind of realize is that it's giving Hunger Games in the best way possible. Like that's the capital, and then Halazia, the song, is very You're 13 reading Hunger Games for the first time, and it's giving you those kind of emotions, at least for me.
Oh, yeah. There's a fight in there.
There is a fight in there.
I get where you're coming from.
I'd like them to stay here and just go even farther. Just make Hunger Games fan music at this point.
Because, like, you can do it.
You can do that.
This album is spin-off from The Witness. The first one was maybe just The Witness.
And the next one's going to be Epilogue from The Witness. So the second thing that I didn't like was again, what the fuck are these album names? Be serious.
Be fucking serious.
I'm okay with Fever Part 1, Fever Part 2, and then like a Fever Epilogue or whatever it's called. I can't actually remember off the top of my head.
This is like The Movement, The Witness, spin-off from The Witness, and then, like you said, they're going to put an epilogue in there somewhere. Fine.
Like, I don't mind an epilogue, but only if everything else has remained firmly with its feet on the ground since now. Or until now, I should say. And that is not where we are.
Nope. But at least this is a really good era for ATEEZ.
Yeah, at least it's a banger. I feel like their B-sides have not done it for me, though, in a while, I have to say.
No. ATEEZ was in our stats episode. And
yeah.
I think
the first few albums we rated them pretty highly, and then we were like, actually, I don't know if I think
ATEEZ only just has good singles.
Yeah, sorry, ATEEZ.
Outside of the Cyberpunk album,
Cyberpunk that had us hopeful that B-sides would be a thing again, but spin-off is making me reconsider that.
No, I think I may stick to the whole ATEEZ is good for a single, and that's okay.
Yeah, they'll make it.
You don't have to like a full album.
Yeah. You don't have to say it's no skips. It's okay.
Because there's a lot of skips.
There's a lot of skips. Most people have well, maybe not mostly, but most people have a lot of skips.
That's fine.
Making music is hard.
The dissenting voice. It's okay if you skip a song.
Yeah.
OnlyOneOf.
Just going straight into it.
Yeah, because I think I actually don't know if I have a lot to say about. So, okay, let me just. OnlyOneOf is a group of a certain number of people.
Used to be 7, is now 6.
Thank you, Lotus.
You're welcome.
And they have started a project where they all release a solo song. The songs aren't connected, but the music videos are.
Right, and they're in pairs. So 1 and 2 music video connected, 3 and 4, and then 5 and 6.
And so I think that in January, 9 was the member who released the final solo song in this project.
Yeah, the project is called Underground Idol. I actually, I'd have to look up when it first started being released, but there's, a good month or two in between each of the releases. His is the final one, so it's officially done. And then I believe they will be releasing a compilation album of all of them at some point in the near future.
Yeah. This song was fun. This song was good. I don't think, maybe OnlyOneOf debuted with Libido or Libido.
No, they debuted with...
They did it, right?
It was not Savannah, but it was...
Oh, you're right. Right.
Here, while you're talking, let me look this up and I'll get the whole thing.
OnlyOneOf, I think, hit their peak. Or maybe not their peak, but they got a majority of their fans when they released Libido. Because the music video and the choreography to it were... I can't think of anything other than like voyeuristic to say about the music video. And the dance was just up close and personal.
Yeah.
A lot of hands on crotches, rubbing thighs. Odd, like, baby BDSM references within the choreography. And the fans ate it up. They loved it. This was my introduction to OnlyOneOf, and I immediately said, no.
Yeah, you and I are in similar boats. I guess, actually, for anyone, I'm pretty sure we've mentioned this multiple times, but me, you, and Azalea are all lesbians. So, our connection to the LGBTQIA plus community is perhaps stronger than the average person's.
You know.
And so, yeah, I went back to confirm. The thing is, OnlyOneOf usually has, like, two kind of main songs. Their debut album was Dot Point Jump, and it had Savannah and Time Leap are kind of the big songs on that. And then it also has Picasso and Fragile, which I think the fans like quite a bit.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, Libido was definitely then just a diamond in the rough.
Was their moment.
That was their moment. And it was the moment where we both kind of went, let's wait a little bit.
Yeah, I was really up and down on it because I like the sound of the song quite a bit, and I love the outfits that they wear in those, because they primarily wear these like deconstructed suits where they're usually not wearing anything under them, so they don't have shirts under them. So it's like you have a lot of skin peeking, but it's pretty tasteful. There's a few pastel ones where they'll have like a sage green or like a lilac purple. So I've watched the performances a million times because I just am like drinking in the suits with my eyeballs. But yeah, it's difficult to think of something other than voyeuristic when you think of Libido.
Yeah.
Or like, I can't even think what the other word is. It's on the tip of my tongue, but it
feels fetishy.
It feels fetishy. It's very, skinship. It feels very much for the fans.
Yeah.
But for both of us, we started OnlyOneOf discography listens completely independently of one another, but at the same time, I believe.
Yeah, I think I was like, I'm going through the discography, and you were like, yeah, started yesterday.
Yeah, exactly.
It was such good timing because, like, so there was that whole thing with Libido, and then when their solo songs started releasing, like we said, like, they release their music videos kind of in pairs, where music video 1 starts the story, music video 2 kind of finishes it or picks it back up. And in all of the videos, the members who it is their song, it's not like they're not in a relationship, but it's like a young gay love story being told in these videos. Yeah. Little snippets, a little novella.
And this is not us being like wild shipper kind of fans. The romance in them is really quite overt. Like, it's not explicit or anything. Someone doesn't look direct to camera and say, we are dating now. But it is very, very obvious that these are love stories, and they're all pretty tastefully done. There is a little bit of, this is for the fans. We're showing dudes with their shirts off and they're like wrestling and stuff, but it doesn't get to the point of feeling voyeuristic, nowhere near as much as Libido does.
Right.
Where it feels like it's like, yeah, we're telling our story, or the company, the directors and whatnot are trying to tell a specific story and give specific support to the queer community, and it's really nice. And it kind of makes me mad that Libido is like how that began, because you cannot blame a queer person for watching Libido and being like, okay, this is obviously like a queer baiting thing to get fans and to get money out of people. And then you see Underground Idol and you're like, well, wait, what?
It's such a weird shift. And I like I said, Nine's solo song Beyond was the first one that I listened to or watched the music video of as well. And I thought, okay, well, wait, because this doesn't feel nearly as bad as Libido.
I was like, I like this. What's going on?
I was like, I kind of like
something.
And the answer is maybe, because then going through the rest of it, it's so oddly, tastefully done. And it's just
extremely tasteful. Like these music videos are putting some BLs to shame. You know what I mean? Which is not something I ever thought I would say about a K-pop music video. It's genuinely pretty impressive, and I do applaud them, because a lot of these other groups will kind of dance around the idea of fans saying, "I'm queer, do you support me?" And they're like, I support everybody.
I love all people.
Right, but OnlyOneOf is quite literally saying it with their whole chest.
They also have like these weird paragraphs in the description of their
those
videos.
Are weird. Those are silly.
They're very coexist. They're very doesn't matter.
Coexist.
Skin shape, gender, none of it. Everyone is beautiful. But it adds a little bit of something extra to these videos where I'm like, okay, all right, fine. Like, next comeback, I'll give it a listen. I added a shit ton of their songs to my playlist because, surprisingly, they make very good, vibey R&B like music. Yeah,
what I learned, because I'm that person who if I like 4 songs by a group, I'm pulling up the K-pop profiles, I'm watching an unhelpful guide to videos on YouTube, that a lot of the members do production work on the songs. And I think part of Underground Idol, that was a huge point, is that they have all the singles, but then also each member did a remix of a previous song that the group had done on their little, single, like that's the B-side, is a remix of a previous song. And a lot of their remixes, a lot of the production work that they do is pretty impressive. I'm not really a music person, so I can't speak too much to it. But they definitely have a unique sound where I do feel like if you gave me a whole playlist of songs I had never heard, I could pick out an OnlyOneOf song, which is not something I can say for a lot of groups.
No. And especially not a group that is because like OnlyOneOf isn't necessarily new, but like it's not a major group from a major company.
Right.
But, like, they may just have it.
Yeah, and one thing that we talked about, that I talked about in our group DM, is they have perhaps one of the, maybe the most important thing to have for a boy group to attract lesbians, which is they have Yoo-jung. Oh my god, what a beautiful man.
A beautiful, beautiful man.
We are all Jongwon lovers. We are all Yeosang lovers. Yoo-jung is a beautiful man.
A beautiful man who can really rock just a feathery blonde bob.
His hair is blue now. I think that's
it is
it's
blue.
Like a light
I think
blue.
It's like a little shorter. Still beautiful.
Mm-hmm. I'm partial to blonde hair or black hair, though. I don't know, that's just me. I'm always there. Sometimes a pastel pink will do it for me, but I'm primarily here for the realm of bleached blonde and jet black. But he looks good.
He looks good. And
and I want Mill to shave his head again. He looked really good with a shaved head.
Yeah, he has the face for it. He's so angular and long that shaved head just really makes him stand out.
Yeah, when he wears the, like, I don't know how to say it other than like the generic like handsome K-pop haircut, the one with the perfect part to the side and then the other side is a little shorter. He looks good, but it makes him look too generic. You have the bone structure, shave that head and look like a model. Yeah.
You guys, come on.
If you have it, flaunt it.
Figure out what it is you have and flaunt it.
They had KB, who's I believe their leader. I might be wrong.
He's at least the oldest.
Oh, you know what? Because I think the member who left, Love, was the leader. So I think KB's not technically the leader, because like when a leader leaves a group, you don't pass on the leadership, because I guess it's, I don't know, maybe it's rude or something. But he's the oldest, so like he's the leader. Come on.
It just falls onto the next oldest.
It just falls onto him. He has this weird mullet. I believe he just got rid of it. I have to say,
finally.
I don't know. I kind of like it. I thought it had a lot of character.
Oh, it had character, Lotus, but it just, because
he's also like
he's also very pretty and like has both like very soft features and like very masculine features. There was something unsettling about the mullet to me.
That's fair. I think part of it is the specific kind of music that they were making, like the like you said, the vibey R&B, and especially his song, which is like, the main lyrics are, "I like your tight blue jeans." You have to have a mullet if that's what you're singing. Do you know what I'm saying?
I get it. Like for his solo stuff, I get it. But just seeing him walking around with that mullet, I just
no, that's true. Okay, maybe outside the MV, it doesn't make a lot of sense. I hear you. I can't say that you're wrong, because if someone says I don't like a mullet, it should be gone, I can never disagree with them completely. But it was such a weird choice that I couldn't help but extremely respect it.
Absolutely, because if we're talking about K-pop mullets, which I feel like we've talked about a few times,
I want to say privately, but I think so, yeah.
It's usually like it's given to very youthful members of a group, and it's almost always just stick straight extensions popped into at the nape of the neck.
Yeah, like that's right. There's the two kinds of mullets, right? It's either the pussy mullet, which is like, it's not really a mullet, it's just the hair on the back of your neck hasn't been trimmed in a while, like whatever. Mm-hmm. And then there's the we have added horrible extensions, like poor Xion from ONEUS.
Yep.
I'm so glad that appears to finally be over for him. Poor young man. But so KB, like, they said this is a fucking mullet, dude.
At the very least, I can give him, it was a mullet and they styled it.
Yes, they didn't give him a perm, but they put some mousse in that bitch, and I love it.
They gave it a nice little wave, a little curl at the end. I didn't hate the mullet. The mullet, I think, is one of the best mullets I've seen in K-pop. It was just
wow, about that's really high praise, though.
It was something about them putting it on him specifically.
Okay, yeah,
but no,
it didn't totally suit him, but it was fun and funny.
It was, and like I said, high praise, yeah. But I think it's one of the best mullets that we've seen in K-pop so far.
Yeah, you know, I guess we can say that OnlyOneOf, or I suppose OnlyOneOf stylists, they know what they're doing, or at least they are very bold about it, and I could appreciate that. They're in a lot of crops, like I said, they like their suits. We haven't talked about member Junji's hair at all.
Oh,
and you know, when I say so and so's hair in OnlyOneOf, you don't even have to know their names. You know who I'm talking about.
I am fully on board with. I'm on the train of. They thought he was ugly and said, let's cover him up.
You think so?
Oh, yeah, girl.
I feel like he's pretty handsome.
Absolutely.
But you think they didn't think that?
I think they thought he looked weird or not as, like, conventional. Because, like, OnlyOneOf has a lot of pretty members. Uh-huh. And he's not pretty handsome. He's just handsome.
Okay, I see where you're coming from. I guess from my perspective, this might be because my introduction to OnlyOneOf, for the most part, was Libido, is that I was coming at it from like this is them being inspired by a BL or like a Dojin kind of thing, where they wanted him to look like sexy and mysterious. They said, you already have muscles, so you're going to be the one with muscles, and all we're going to be able to see is the nose and lips, and you're just going to serve. You know what I mean?
See, the thing is, I think he had that hair at debut as well. And it may have gone like just under the nose. Like it was wild. How much of his face you didn't see. I think they thought he was ugly. And then they realized, wait, no.
Wait, no, he's not. What the hell?
Wait, no. He's not ugly. You just have to style people in a way that suits them.
Yeah.
And they said,
I do like the hair, though. I like it.
It's still very long and shaggy.
Yeah, it's just so, it's like cartoonish, and that's what I like about it.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it.
He looks like, my favorite thing ever. You can't really do this in real life, but I love it when like cartoon dogs have the hair that goes all the way over their eyes. I think they look so cute, like a sheepdog.
The eyes just peek out.
Yeah, if they're really surprised, the eyes will peek out. He's giving very that, and I think it's great.
intentional or not, OnlyOneOf is really, I think, hitting all the marks, at least for these lesbians.
Yeah, several things it feels like they did on accident, and then they realized, wait, we can actually do this better now that we know how to do it on purpose, and then they did it. So, yeah, they've made fans out of us. We have both done. I mean, you did a complete heel turn. I was already halfway turned around.
Oh
I was
yeah,
standing still.
Yeah, I was a full fucking hater and an anti. Because I didn't even like Libido at first.
Right, you didn't even like the sound of it.
Yeah. And then I said, let me just listen to this on Spotify. Let me take the music video out of the equation. I said, no, this is good. I was just being a hater. You know, and that's usually the case, but with most songs and groups, I'll say, I'm a hater, so let me listen to this twice. With OnlyOneOf, I listened to it once and I stayed there.
Right. I mean, that's fair. OnlyOneOf our seal of approval so far. Shall we move on to someone who has the constant lesbian seal of approval here? Monsta X.
Yeah.
The ultimate mom group, the ultimate lesbian group, Monsta X, with their comeback,
Lesbians
Beautiful
and moms
Liar.
unite.
Uh-huh. And if you're a lesbian mom, forget about it.
Forget about it. You're done. Beautiful. I mean, it's rare that in these days I will dislike a Monsta X comeback.
Yeah. You might be their biggest fan.
I might be.
Well, you might be their
enough.
biggest normal fan. Let me be real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You know, I'm not out here with like a MAVE shirt. I'm, you know, I'm the biggest casual fan, I guess.
Yeah.
Beautiful Liar. I distinctly remember when they released the first snippet of the song. I put it in the group chat and I said, Ki-hyun is lisping bad. You know the song is going to be good.
You do. You have a specific thing. This is how you know you and I are both Southern, because we will say something that for all intents and purposes appears to be a read, but we mean it completely genuinely, and vice versa. If you hear Dani being real nice, oh, she does not. She's not happy.
It's a lie. But you
That's
hear me
just how
talking
we
about
are.
a bitch's lisp? Oh, I'm in. This song
It's a
is
good
so
lisp.
good.
It is very cute.
It is. And like, I appreciate someone who he's a main vocalist. He does, if there's an important part to be had in a Monsta X song, Ki-hyun is doing it. And not once does he ever say, let me try to hide my lisp.
No, well, part of it too is like how Korean kind of works, right? Is
Yeah.
A lisp is just more common, not necessarily because it's, you know, like you have a gap in your teeth or a quote unquote speech impediment, because let's be honest, lisps are not, be normal. A speech impediment, a lisp, y'all stop being weird. Anyways, it's more normal to have a lisp based on your accent or how you speak Korean, so he truly does not give a fuck. And that's incredible.
I love Beautiful Liar. It's such a loud song. It's a little bit different and weird for Monsta X. The guitar comes in real strong. The lyrics are as like borderline horny as you would expect from a Monsta X song.
They're only getting more horny. Now that they're also getting older, they say, I can actually do whatever I want.
And they do.
And they do. Yeah, it's a good song. It really feels like a natural kind of evolution to Rush Hour, I feel like.
Yeah, I agree. Because LOVE, Love, it was good. It was Monsta X, it was good. But like, after Rush Hour, I was like, no, I feel like there could have been something more after you give Rush Hour.
An English single will do that. Or English album, I should say.
You know, it was, okay, whatever. But then Beautiful Liar came right back and I'm in.
Yeah, I'll say I don't love the music video so much.
Yeah.
It's just kind of there.
It's just kind of there, and I think
it serves its purpose.
Monsta X used to do music videos that were weird, like sci-fi.
Like Gambler?
No, even earlier. It was weird
yeah.
sci-fi shit with like them time traveling and changing the past, affecting the future. It was really weird. It made no sense. And then they kind of shifted into let's just kind of look good and dance around and pose.
Yeah, that's how you can tell that they're like a third gen group, right? Is they used to embrace that more wacky, like, yeah, there's secretly a story in here that only our director and two other people involved in the production actually know what any of it's supposed to mean. And now they've come more around on like, let's just look around and look pretty. I guess I just wish that there was a little bit more of a storyline in there. Gambler's storyline doesn't make any sense. It's completely imparsible, but you can kind of identify a beginning, middle, and end.
Yeah, and it's fun.
It's fun.
It's there's not much there with Gambler, but like you said, you kind of get what they're going for, and it's just fun. There's a little bit of acting involved, a very little bit. Yeah. So I get what you're saying. They had somebody on a horse in the Beautiful Liar music video, and I don't like that, but that's just my own personal opinion on horses. I don't like somebody just posed up on a horse.
You don't?
No.
Why not? Do you not like horses?
Well, I don't like horses.
I was gonna say, don't you have the strangest enjoyment of animals of anyone I have ever met. And that sounds weird if you don't know Dani. Dani does not like dogs, does not like cats, does not like does not like horses, but likes most other kind of horse-like farm creatures? Animals. You like a cow, you like a rabbit. Mm-hmm. Doesn't like any other wild animals.
No, I'm not really partial to a wild animal. Truly, at heart, I am a country bitch.
But you don't like horses, which is where the contradiction really starts to come in.
No horses. I can't explain it, but a horse makes me very uncomfortable and borderline angry.
Borderline angry is where you lose a lot of people, because I think a lot of people on the internet, especially city folk, are very afraid of horses. It's like a meme, but I think people kind of mean it, that they sense a maliciousness in the eyes of a horse.
A horse is a strange
they just
creature.
Make you mad.
And because I don't have like the weird fear of horses because I've grown up around horses.
Right. They're just animals. They're just big weird ass dogs.
They're just big weird ass dogs. They sweat through their skin like a human does. It makes me very And so going right back around, seeing someone posed up on a horse, it's like I know it's supposed to be a powerful image, a man on a horse. And I can't get there.
That's fair.
That's like the best I can give you.
Well,
what were we even talking about? Oh, you said the music video wasn't your favorite. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we were just wrapping up talking about Beautiful Liar by Monsta X.
The album as well. I know we haven't really discussed B-sides yet, but the album is good. Specifically, there's a song called Crescendo, where Kihyun just in a falsetto sings "Let's Get Sexy."
Yes, it's good. It's what you want out of Monsta X.
It's what you want out of Monsta X, and like, kind of similar to last year, the start of this year has felt a little off in terms of the music. Mm-hmm. And so luckily, like, Monsta X said, let's get this album out early. And it worked. And so, moving on, next release. We're still at the start of January with this one, I think. SF9
I think so.
Put out Puzzle. I think we've both wanted gay music from SF9 for a while.
Yes. This is an upturn for SF9, because I don't know what the hell they were doing. Their niche is in making gay people club music. They shouldn't do anything else. I will just say that much. Puzzle's closer. It's not all the way there for me, I don't think.
It's not all the way there, but like I want to give it its props for leaving behind that fucking ice cream song they did.
I hope they leave it behind, but I also don't know if I entirely believe that just yet.
No, because SF9 has way too many like weird up and down albums and singles for me to ever trust and be like, you know what, I'm excited for this next comeback.
Yeah, they might just be going back and forth, which I don't like. I suppose it's sound business sense to cover all your bases like that, but I'm like, no, you've found what you've done that's good. There's a reason that like Teardrop is, from what I can remember, the only single that SF9 has had that has really kind of stood a chance. Of like winning awards and stuff. You gotta just keep doing that kind of stuff.
You gotta stay with it. Also, Azalea isn't recording these episodes with us, obviously, but she really dislikes this song.
Oh yeah, you're right.
And there's something about her dislike of it that makes me like it so much more. Not because I enjoy being like contrarian, but specifically SF9 does this thing where I don't believe any of them speak English, but the song has English in it, whatever. Mm-hmm. They like to rhyme the English in their songs. In the previous Bad song, they rhymed scream with cream multiple times.
Multiple times, yeah.
And this one, I love that it's just like a weird, monotonous repetition of puzzling, wondering, tumbling. And they just find any ing word and just take off that G.
They love it, Jared.
Oh, I love it. It's so strange, and like the lyricism ain't there.
No.
But I do find it funny every time I listen to this song.
Yeah, SF9 famously the group that said, "I told you I'm the male version of Venus."
Gosh.
But in such a strong accent, it is borderline incomprehensible.
Uh-huh.
Well,
I would like them to stay there. I would like them to stay there, just on the edge of nonsense with good gay people music.
Yeah, like I said, this was an upturn. Music video, nice, not 100% there from you. It did its job. The song is a nice little club song, but I continue to believe that they can do better. But they haven't shown me yet, so I'm getting worried.
SF9 is SF9. Let's move into, I think, my greatest shame.
Your birthday gift.
My birthday gift, one of two. Taeyong from Big Bang decided to release a solo song with Jimin, or as he is known in the States, Jimin, of BTS.
I love when you say Jimin, because you say it like a slur. You say it like it's a slur.
That's just Jimin. And the song is called Vibe. And my first reaction, it was a bit of it was very narcissistic of me, but I said, they're releasing this on my birthday? There's something about, I feel like I can say this safely without the army coming for me. I'm not the biggest fan of Jimin.
No, you are not. Nor the biggest fan of Taeyang.
Neither of those people. And the song is so bad.
It's like a top 100 song. I can't say that it's bad. It is a vibe. It's a vibey song.
It's a vibe.
It gets stuck in my head sometimes, but I at the same time I don't think it's good. It's not good, it's not bad. It is a vibey song.
I think the vocals on it are very strange.
Yeah.
The funniest thing is my sister heard me listening to this and said, "Oh, is Shakira singing?"
You're lying.
And I think that 100% asked if Shakira was on the song. And I think that just perfectly sums up just how off the vocals are a little bit in this. But my God, if this fucking song did not get stuck in my head for a week straight, to the point where I would seek it out. I would never on a Spotify. I would go to YouTube and type it in to watch the music video.
Why?
I have no clue. It had such a strange hold on me.
This is fascinating to me.
And I don't know. I can't put it on a playlist. I cannot have even a chance of like a Taeyong featuring Jimin song being even anywhere close to even my top 50, right?
Right.
But I don't know. There's something in this song.
You're saying they put drugs in this song, but you mean it in a negative way, as opposed to the way that Stans usually mean.
It's not positive like it's supposed to be.
This is a CIA op.
There's something in this song that is really driving my brain wild.
Deeply funny to me.
I hate it. But also on my birthday, something good did happen.
Something good did happen, other than your birthday.
Other than my birthday, January 13th is the day that Dreamcatcher was born.
Yeah, reborn from the ashes of Minx.
Reborn from the ashes. And they released Reason to celebrate the fans.
It's such
and
a
they
cute
did what they
little
had
song.
to do.
They did what they had to do. They did the Dreamcatcher special, which is I mean, they have like 5 members who, well, okay, maybe 5 is exaggerating. They have like 4 very strong vocal members. They're like a couple who can carry a tune just fine, but they're mostly there for the raps and whatnot, you know, that kind of vibe.
Yeah.
And they have some people who know how to play some guitars, baby.
Baby, the guitars in this one.
We've said it constantly. The Dreamcatcher makes like perfect, flawless, beautiful, amazingly executed anime AMV music video kind of music. Like, I don't even know how else to describe it other than this is a song that you listen to which doesn't feel like it belongs anywhere but in an AMV made on YouTube about 2 anime characters.
Yes.
And that is what Reason is. They really didn't have to do this. I feel like groups don't typically release anniversary songs.
Or like they'll release, like, if it's not an anniversary song, they'll release like a fan song, which is what this was. But it's always so like sickeningly sweet. It's very sweet.
It's in the same genre of a Christmas song. Christmas single.
It's nothing but fan service. And like this song was fan service, but it at least sounded good and sounded like a Dreamcatcher song.
Yeah, exactly. And had this super cute animation. I wish the whole music video was like that. And I hope that they bring this style back. This very, very vibrant chibi. Like, it almost gives in Madoka Magica when the witches are taking over, which is exactly what you would want Dreamcatcher, who are more or less witches in their lore and their music videos. That's what you'd want them to put out. I feel like we don't have too much else to say about it, but yeah, it's a good single. Thanks, Dreamcatcher. Congrats on still being alive somehow. No shade to them, because we are fans, but they did get their first win after like 6.5 years.
Yeah. It took a very long time for them to get a win, and frankly, they won on a song that wasn't even their best. So,
yeah, the fact that they didn't win on like a PD, kind of wild.
So congrats to them. They broke the 7-year curse that most girl groups do not break.
Yeah, congrats, Dreamcatcher.
And then Signature, another girl group.
And also technically another curse broken, kind of, I think, right?
Yeah, because they were, before releasing Aurora in January, they were gone for, you said 14 months?
I believe it was 14 months, yeah.
Yikes.
No comeback.
That's a long time.
It's it's so funny to like be people who don't only listen to K-pop, because in the United States that is not a long time at all.
No, that's normal. That's
we have people casually going 3 years. You know, when Rihanna was a teenager coming out with an album a year, people were like, "Oh my god, this is so much music." And here we are, like 14 months. Oh my god, they might as well have been dead. But yeah, I think people were starting to get kind of worried about Signature.
Yeah, because, you know, again, it's a lot of K-pop is all about like the company that the group is under and like what other groups in the company are or aren't doing. And they're under the same company as CIX, and CIX is relatively no, they still have about 1 comeback a year as well, I think.
Yeah, but they're still pretty popular, and it feels like there's a lot of oomph put behind their comebacks. You know, they're very clearly active.
Yes, whereas Signature released that one song, Boyfriend?
Yeah.
And then it was silent.
Boop, boop, boop. Yeah.
Boyfriend wasn't my favorite, but I really like Aurora. It's sweet, it's cute.
It's very, I mean, it feels like a full return to like a Cheer Up by Twice, you know. It is that bubbly poppy kind of song. It's so catchy. Oh my god.
Yes, it's kind of what because it's what I've really wanted in like girl groups, because G-Friend kind of did that, but like with a bit of power vocals behind it. IZ*ONE did it, but those groups don't exist. And now a lot of girl groups are doing, you know, we're still kind of in the cool girl phase.
Yeah. We're not cool girls.
We're not cool girls. I want a cute bubbly girl.
Yeah.
They sing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star at one point in this song. And I thought I would absolutely hate it. But I don't think I do.
They're coming for NCT's gig of putting random children's rhymes in songs.
Just put a children's rhyme in the song, and you could have a hit. If NCT can make 5 different songs with different children's references in it, a girl group can say "Twinkle Twinkle Little Star." They
Nicki
had
Minaj
Johnny
did
singing. Now, did she?
Yeah, she did.
So maybe
it's in Starships, I think.
Oh, that makes sense. Maybe the credit then goes to Nicki Minaj.
You think the credit should go to Nicki for the public domain children's song "Twinkle Twinkle Little Star"?
I mean, if she... Who knows? Who knows?
Who knows where it really came from?
But I like this. I like this. When I mentioned, like, I'm just looking for girl groups, now I want to hear more signature songs. Again, coming from someone who I feel like even just a few years ago, I was like, no, I don't really like girl groups. Oddly enough. And now all I want to hear is girl groups.
Yeah, there's definitely been a shift in the brain chemistry at K-YOS Studios, LLC.
Yeah.
I've definitely come around on girl groups a lot more. I think for opposite reasons of you, though, because I don't mind a bubble pop, but it's not my favorite. I don't want it to get too cutesy. So maybe we had to stomach the girl crush, which, I did have some songs I really like. Everglow First is like one of my favorite songs ever, K-pop songs ever. So it's like maybe we had to have the girl crush for me to get the balance in a bubble pop song that I wanted, where it's not at 100, it's at a smooth 90.
Yeah, just a little bit toned down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. But one girl group that I have never doubted.
You could never.
Never in my life will I have anything slanderous to say about Twice. Because they did a pre-release single, which normally I hate. And it was an English single, normally I hate.
Yeah.
Moonlight Sunrise?
Yeah.
I can't stop listening to it.
It's a good song. I mean, I think day one you were like, there's something in this Twice song. But this time you meant it in a good way.
I mean, this time it was good.
Yeah, this time it was good. Yeah, it's a wonderful single. I still don't like that it's so mysterious. I don't really like a pre-release single very much, especially if it has like zero information, which Moonlight Sunrise did when it came out.
Yeah, they didn't put anything about it, but there was no info on the album for like a week or two.
Yeah, you've never doubted Twice. I was not really a Twice fan until Alcohol Free, which is when we started this podcast, was the top 25 of that year. And then when we did our math thing, I was like, oh no, like I think I've come around. There are a few songs that I like. Like I knew I liked Fake and True a lot. Alcohol Free I liked, and then I went back and yeah, it shifted. Now I'm here for it Twice. Moonlight Sunrise, very good. The first thing that I said, and I did tweet this, if anyone wants to check the receipt, well, if Twitter is still up when this comes out, my god. If anyone wants to check the receipts, immediately after listening to it, I said, just listen to Moonlight Sunrise. The K-pop industry has so much to owe to Ariana Grande, because this is an Ariana Grande song.
It sure is.
They said she's not doing nothing right now. Yoink.
So, let's pick up the slack, babes.
Uh-huh.
And they did. Moonlight Sunrise is fun. It's a little grown.
It's a little sexy.
It's a little sexy. Jiho gets a little body in her voice. And normally,
she gets a little body.
Mama stays in her highest register.
Yeah.
Because she can. And a group like Twice, as much as... Oh, I just said I wasn't going to say anything slanderous. But Twice isn't like the most...
they're not a vocal group in particular.
They're not a vocal group.
I don't think Twice are like a vocal group or a rap group or a dance group. They're good at doing all of those things, but what they are more than anything, baby, is they're Twice. They're the nation's girl group. They have the literal je ne sais quoi. They just have something that other girl groups just kind of don't. And part of that is production quality. They have very good producers. But also, it's just something else.
It's something else. I can't put my finger on it, but they've got that star quality.
Mm-hmm.
And they managed to just do something just a little, switch it up just a teensy little bit. The rap in this wasn't very bad. I know we've talked about Twice raps being jump scares within the songs.
For me, it was a bit of... It wasn't loud enough to be a jump scare, but I don't like it.
I mean, it's not great. It has almost the exact cadence of Meg Thee Stallion in Sweetest Pie. It has almost the exact fucking cadence. Because, again, Twice is not a rap group, and their rappers aren't very strong. No. So, you know, do what you could do. But I don't mind it.
Yeah, it doesn't ruin the song or anything. It's helped by the fact that, like, maybe 2 entire seconds later, you just see Sana looking beautiful. And then you kind of get over it.
You know, a balm to soothe the ache. Just Twice looking pretty.
Oh, you know, speaking of Sana, we're all mad because they're not called Mimosa, right?
Yeah, I think that I can't imagine anyone being okay with it. So like it's their Japanese subunit that is not going to debut until July, June or July, but for whatever reason we have the opening trailers to the unit now.
Just I will never understand the decisions of when things start being promoted. This is months in advance.
JYP specifically.
Yes.
Is always so fucking early. The latest they will start promoting something is like a month and a half before it comes out, which is early because I understand it from like certain business aspects, but who's going to remember?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess the hardcore stands because I know when Twice's album comes out. But regardless, you have Mina, Sana, Momo. Why is it not Mimosa?
And like you can't even make the argument of like, okay, maybe they don't want to make an alcohol reference because they have Alcohol Free, a song where they just start listing alcoholic beverages, where they just start listing cocktails. So it doesn't make sense.
They talk about alcohol even in Moonlight Sunrise.
That's true, they do.
It doesn't make sense. What is it? What is it called? It's not me. There's unit? Is it me?
It's Misamo? I think Misamo.
Like that's not even in age order. So why couldn't it be me?
I mean, maybe it means something in Japanese, but I haven't seen anyone talk about that. So
maybe
I'm not sure.
I'll give it the benefit of the doubt. I'm just very, it's just a bummer.
Yeah, it was a layup they didn't take.
Oh, so we've been going in like pretty sequential order with this so far.
Mm-hmm.
But can we save MAVE for last?
Sure. If that's what you would like, my friend, we can save MAVE, the AI girl group, for last.
Let's save it for last because I think there's music that's going to be discussed. But I feel like also we're going to have to do a slight deep dive, and I'd like to save that to the end.
Yeah. That's fair.
So instead, let's talk about TXT's comeback, Sugar Rush Ride, on the album The Name, Temptation.
You and I believe, have
this one.
I was going to say, I think we have very differing opinions. I do not like this EP at all. So,
I initially thought that we would have different opinions.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think we do.
Oh, have you come to the dark side?
I don't think we do. Like, so whenever I'm like doing a podcast or whatever, I try to keep notes so I can remember what I thought because thoughts come and go.
Right.
I didn't manage to do that. But I did manage to write one thing down, and it was for TXT, and it was my initial thought was, when you combine the worst of a TXT song and the best of an Enhypen song, you get a mid-TXT song.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what inspired that inside of Sugar Rush Ride, honestly, but I don't know. This album isn't doing it for me. This single isn't doing it for me. I never want to go back to listen to it.
Yeah, I'm there too, pretty much. I was honestly kind of out, like, at the highlight medley, teaser situation, which I can jump the gun on those a little bit, because let's be honest, sometimes those highlight medleys do not sound like the actual songs to come out.
No.
But I know that I can jump the gun a little early, so I heard the highlight medley and I was like, guys, I don't know, I'm just not seeing how it sounds good, but I'll wait. I listened to the song and I don't like it.
No.
I don't like any of these songs, actually, which is really a bummer, because we've said before that TXT are very consistent, even though they're moving through eras and concepts like relatively rapidly. We've liked pretty much everything that they've put out. There are times where I maybe don't like the title as much, or I don't like any B-sides, or I think a rap is really bad, or whatever. For me, this whole EP is like a complete wash.
Yeah.
And what we talked about when it first came out is this is their most like kind of, for me, generic pop release. When they were doing pop punk, they were a little bit late to the trend kind of starting, but they ended up smack dab in the middle, right? And it still sounded like they were taking pop punk and kind of putting their own spin on it. That kind of seems like TXT's sort of thing. Is they're a bit anachronous. Like, it feels like they're not ever on time to something. But the problem is that when they're doing pop punk, it had a nostalgic feel to it. When they were doing Blue Hour, it had a nostalgic feel to it, or they're doing something very new. This, on the other hand, it sounds like relatively current generic pop songs. I mean, this feels like it's like a 2017 song at the latest, but it doesn't sound like your favorite 2017 song. It sounds like it was something that was like number 57 on the top 100 for 6 weeks in 2017. This is one of the few times where, you know, K-pop is obviously derivative of like American black pop music, just because that's who invented the damn genre. It's always going to have somewhat of a derivativeness, it's inspired by something else. This is one of very few K-pop like EPs or albums where I've been like, I don't know why I wouldn't just listen to a Western artist, because there's really nothing.
Yeah, it's a weird one. Like, this is the start of a new era for TXT, because they do the same thing where they have like a solid 3 albums, and then like a mini-sode album, and then into the new chapter. This one is a miss. Yeah, this one's a miss. I mean,
I like the styling. Okay, it's interesting.
I like the styling.
The weird like grunge kind of fairy coquette thing. I think it's a little weird how, for lack of a better word, how twinky they're making them. Like, they're really keeping the quote unquote youth thing. It's very like coquette core Tumblr circa 2013. So I like squinted it a little bit, but I also can't say I don't like it. I don't know.
I don't dislike it. I also don't think TXT, the members aren't very old themselves. They're 20 to 24 years old. So they're not very old. And I think when they try to make them look older, it doesn't look right. So like, I can understand why they would want to stick with this styling. It looks good, you know. I get it. I like it.
Yeah, I think there's just a tinge to it that I don't respond positively to.
I think that
maybe it's some fillers.
Maybe
it might be some fillers. I can't disregard that possibility.
For me, it's the weird, like, for me it's like 100% like the styling, like not them themselves, but the styling, and that weird line where it's like, oh, we still want to be modest but show a little skin because we're older, and it just ends up in this very strange nebulous for me, where it just doesn't. I don't fully get what you're going for. I understand what you wanted to do, but it's not fully realized.
Yeah, I'll say so.
You know, that's besides the point. I don't think Sugar Rush Ride has moments where it's really good, or not really good, or I like it, but the rest of the album is bad. Devil by the Window is such a horribly generic 2018 top 50 hit song.
Which one is the one where they're like, whine it, the like fake reggaeton song that they do?
That's Tinnitus.
Oh my god. They when Anti-Fragile first came out, I said something like this. Anti-Fragile has a very clear like Caribbean Afrobeat kind of like situation going on. I love that song. The choreo adds something very, very special. At the same time, I think a very, very small Korean woman cannot necessarily carry that. the way that an Afro-Caribbean woman could. And Tinnitus truly challenges me on that level, where I'm like, it almost feels like insulting if you like reggaeton music to listen to it.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's really hard.
I know that like there's like a certain like there's a feeling when you see like just something different happening in K-pop. And I'll speak for like myself as a Black K-pop fan. A lot of Black K-pop fans, when a Black genre of music is in K-pop in a way that is bold, like they said like, oh yeah, this is our Afro pop song. You want to like it because it's like, oh, they're actually saying, yeah, we're inspired by black people, and like this is what we're doing. And sometimes with it.
Even bringing on actual Black producers and stuff.
It's like, okay, yeah, like I love it. I have to. I mean, they're doing it the right way, but they're not doing it the right way. This song, it's not good.
It's
and
not
like,
good.
Les Seraphim, I think the producer for Anti-Fragile, was it not a reggaeton artist?
I'm not sure. I can't remember at this point, I'll be honest.
That's fine. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because Anti-Fragile did it well, and I don't think this did. I don't know. This album was a miss for me.
Yeah, the one good thing that came out of it for me, though, is someone on YouTube.com made Sugar Rush Ride, but with the instrumental from Love Dive, and I fucking love that song.
I finally listened to that today before we like sat down to record. It's really good.
It's like the gayest thing that I could imagine out of K-pop. There's just something about combining IVE, Love Dive, and TXT Sugar Rush Ride that is so gay, and I'm so happy that it sounds good. Because when I saw it, I was like, that seems like a really weird idea. But no, it works excellently. It's a simple, maybe I shouldn't say simple, I don't know enough about music, but I think it's a relatively simple like remix mashup going on, but I listen to it like every day.
Yeah, no, it's really good. It's so good to the point where I listened to it and I said, well, hold on, let me go back to the song and listen to it again.
Yes,
because maybe I missed something.
Me too. I was like, maybe I do like Sugar Rush Ride because this is good, but no, it's just when you adapt those vocals to that beat, it works.
Unfortunate. But I will be listening to that more.
Oh, yes.
And so now we can do MAVE.
Yeah, TXT, better luck in 6 months or whatever. I know you can do it, but this wasn't it.
This wasn't it. This was trying to tap into something that...
y'all should have left alone.
You should have left it alone. Oh, MAVE technically isn't last, but like it's the last, I think, full conversation we'll have because we have a couple of like small things.
Do you want to do the quick notes first and then we can do MAVE?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do a quick note.
The quick notes, end of January, NCT 127 released Ayo, which is like a pre-release single for their compilation album that's coming up, I think. I was honestly kind of confused trying to read what this was.
I think it's the single on their repackage of Two Baddies.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
It has a great instrumental. I don't like the rest of it. However, there are several scenes where Taeyong looks exactly like Roxas from Kingdom Hearts.
Just a little punk Roxas.
I think it's
really good.
His hair in that whole music video, it has different flavors. There's the Roxas one, and then there's another one that's like a half Roxas where it's kind of long and spiky, but it's down, and it's good. The rest of it is whatever. Yeah,
that's truly it for that.
Now, congrats to the NCT members who recovered after being in multiple different accidents. Good. Thank God. What the hell? What is happening?
Safety regulations. Where are they? Okay. Next note, Viviz released Pull Up, which is not their second song, but apparently their third.
Yeah.
Overall, I think Viviz maybe. I think I may be done with Viviz.
I think I may be done with Viviz as well. Well, I can't say that I was ever done with Viviz because I don't think I ever started Viviz.
That's fair. I
mostly just thought like, oh, they're nice. You know what I mean? But I didn't really listen to Viviz songs much. I thought Bop Bop was fun, but I was never really on the Viviz train.
Yeah, I thought I could because I got into G-Friend relatively late in their career. not long before they disbanded, frankly. And I was like, oh, well, I like G Friends so much. And I thought Bop Bop was fun. I was like, okay, yeah, Bop Bop is fun. Um, Pull Up is
It's nothing.
really, like, I know there are plenty of songs that sound the same from start to finish.
Mm-hmm.
This one is, nothing happens in the song.
Nothing happens in this song.
Viv is doing something so strange. And I don't like it. So, that's just unfortunate. R.I.P. G Friend. One in a million.
Friend. That was our Viviz check-in. Now we're going to move on to MAVE, the metaverse AI group that debuted this month with Pandora. Danny, what do you think while I get started on these Google searches?
All right, start those Google searches. I listened to their song approximately, how long have we been recording? Okay, so I listened to this song about 2 hours ago. And I truly couldn't tell you what the song looked like or what the song sounds like because all I could see were just these AI girls dancing on a real stage.
It's so strange.
They were
but
on
you know
music
what?
core.
I'm so surprised. I don't hate it. Not only the song, but like I don't hate it. I thought I would really hate it.
I did see in the YouTube comments someone say, as a fan of KDA, I'm on board with this. And I feel like that can apply to you, Lotus.
No, because to say I'm a fan of KDA, I do hate them. It's like every day of my life I regret that Pop Stars is so catchy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you know I don't like Giddle. And KDA is more than 50% Giddle.
That's Giddle.
That's Giddle. It's tough. I mean, I just thought, like, with KDA, it's like at least the characters are pre-existing, so I can see why someone would like it more. It's like, oh, you're taking the characters and you're giving them cute little skins, and then, oh, you made a song for them. That's fun. This is a full built from the ground up. These are K-pop idols made just for this. I thought I would hate it more than anything else. I like the song quite a bit.
Okay.
I don't hate the concept. I don't know all that much about them. But for me, there is something about the idea of a metaverse idol. It's impossible to do it without getting into NFTs, which is what makes me sad. But the idea of an AI idol, I actually do think is fun, partially because idols are so horribly exploited, especially female idols, that I'm like, well, if the idols aren't real, I'm a little happier.
If the people behind...
If they're not real
AI,
people...
If you don't know who they are, like, good for them. They can get paid without having all the other horrible aspects of the idol industry.
Exactly.
So, we started, like, looking into some things about MAVE before we recorded. And Lotus very quickly shut it down and said, no. We're going to look this up on the podcast as
the second I heard Danny say there's so much lore, I was like, no, start the fucking recording. Because I went to the K-pop profiles. Like I said, this is what I typically do. Member names, Siu, who that is also a member of Dreamcatcher. Fun fact. Wait, no, I'm wrong. I'm so sorry. There's Jiu and Suwa, and I put their names together.
You did.
My bad. Take that one back. There's Xena, but spelled with a Z, not an X. No copyright infringement. And then my favorite member, I've decided, Marty. Because why? Because I don't understand where this name has come from. But as I said to you,
maybe we'll figure it out.
Yeah, maybe we'll figure it out. But when I hear Marty, I just think of the zebra from Madagascar. And then there's Tyra. And one thing I've noticed while looking up the members is that all the members' names are in all caps except for Tyra for some reason.
Okay, I'll chalk that up as of right now. I'll chalk it up to, the site. Get a copy editor.
Copy. You know the K-pop profiles. They don't even have writers. This is all fan-made shit.
Hire a copy editor. So far is what I'll say. I think so far, as we're scrolling through, the fact that they have empathy abilities
That was so strange. I saw it on one member's profile, and I saw it on Marty's. Her empathy ability is very high. It's at 3%. And I was like, oh, so they're all gonna have like a different thing that they have, right? Like this will be so and so's empathy ability, and so's combat ability, and so's leadership ability. No, they're all empathy abilities.
Everybody has an empathy ability. Tyra has an empathy ability of 30%. What does that mean? Like, in the grand scheme of this, what does that mean?
She don't like nobody.
She can't empathize. She's
can't
not
empathize.
there yet.
Oh, because she's the like ambitious one. She's greedy, very competitive. Her passion is her main skill. Her intuitive power and affinity are both very high. She's a snake.
She's a snake.
She crash landed in California. That's why her name is Tyra, and she speaks English also.
Marty crash landed in Jakarta, Indonesia. She remembers skyscrapers high in the sky. Now wait, does that mean that they don't have where does their memory start?
What a good question. It's funny because all their nationalities are Korean, but it's like, oh, they speak Korean and whatever language of where they crash landed.
Where they crash landed. Marty, no, this is Xena. Crash landed in Paris, France. Only remembers a snow-covered village. So does this mean that? I mean, I would hope that this means that eventually we will learn where did they come from? Where is this snow-covered village?
Well, it says someone else remembers like a purple sky or something like that.
I would love to dig deep into this group.
Dani, I think they might have gotten us. Like, because we can pretend that we're doing it as a joke, but we're gonna do it. You know what I mean?
I mean, absolutely. Lotus, they have MBTIs.
Do they really? How many of them are introverts? How many of them are extroverts? Let me know.
All right, let's see. We have 2 introverts, 2 extroverts.
Well, I suppose that makes sense. When you get to build them from the ground up, you might as well make things pretty even.
Make it all even. Marty likes the citrus scent macaroons imagining in cool breezes. One of her likes is imagining.
Tyra loves woody scents, Hawaiian pizza, dance practices, and sunny days. She remembers the sounds of the waves and the strong sun. Wait, I think these might just be the memories of when they crashed.
Okay, so I'm going to say that prior to the crash, they don't really know. They don't remember a lot.
I don't think so, no. Do you think they're from space? Because it says they crashed.
Right, they have to be from space.
Oh, do you think that they're maybe like they were a project on like the ISS or something like that?
And they just kind of fell off?
Yeah, they just kind of fell off.
It's just one day, 4 girls tripped.
No.
And they landed in Korea.
I don't mean that they were working on the ISS. I mean that they're like an experiment on the ISS, you know?
And they just got shot down.
A satellite or an asteroid or something hit them. Yeah, and then they fell to Earth.
Possibly, because can I say? Now that I'm on the official wiki, their names are all in capital. They're all capitalized. But all of their names end in a colon.
Oh, okay. You know what? When I was looking at the profile, I didn't recognize that was part of their names. I thought it was
just like formatting.
Right, I thought it was formatting.
No, those are their names. Oh, their genre is trap and dance. I didn't get that from the song.
I mean that's the KDA influence, I suppose.
But that doesn't mean anything, does it?
Right, that doesn't mean anything.
No.
At the end of the day, music genres barely mean anything.
That's very fair. I think I may be into this.
I'm on the official website. Have you ever seen Transformers?
I don't like that setup.
Have you ever seen Transformers?
I've seen a Transformers.
So you know the Transformers movies, and I think the comics that shows and stuff too. There's the Tesseract, which is like the thing that everyone is after. It's the MacGuffin of the Transformers movies. I believe the first single album, Pandora's Box. I believe I'm looking at Pandora's Box, which is a sort of metal but hollow square. Like it has a circle on each face, and then there's like a purple glowing orb with a bunch of chains on it in the middle. So let me see. MAVE consists of 4 girls living in the future world called Idipia, which I think is a portmanteau of ideal and utopia, perhaps? A utopia everyone dreamed of. They travel to 2023 to recover lost emotions. They have uncovered secrets hidden in Idipia, a perfect utopia everyone has dreamed of, and are about to embark on a journey to recover the lost emotions of mankind without hesitation or fear.
Wait.
They have a Discord? No fucking way.
A Discord?
I've joined the Discord.
Okay, well, Lotus, hold on, because I'm on my way.
Oh, their fans are called Fancy, FNCY. There are only 3 moderators? Be real.
Oh, you may need more than that.
Maybe it's just that those are the only ones that are online. I'm checking. I'm so sorry if you can hear my scroll wheel.
Hey, look at these Discord channels they have. There's Welcome, there's MAVE, and then there's NFT.
I was wondering how long it would take us to find something. I think there's only 3 mods. There's not a lot of people in here.
No, it's
like compared to you know, like a video game Discord, there are 363 people in here, not including mods.
Wow.
I'm so fascinated.
So, there's a Rumble Royale?
Oh, there's 2 NFTs. Oh, they're part of the Iris, IRRIS. They have that NFT.
Look at this. Oh, okay, here we go. I had to verify that I was a human, and I've now I
Which
see
is
all
funny
because
they can't pass that test, right? So they can't be in here.
Presumably.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Having a Discord is so dark-sided and wrong.
Oh, it absolutely is.
I could not believe when I saw this. There's an empathy level test.
Oh, well, hold on. Because we talked about, wow, 30%, that could be low, but what if it's not? Where is this empathy?
It might all be in Korean. It is all in Korean.
Oh,
okay,
wait.
so...
Oh, for English, please use translator app or service. Okay, well, listen, if that's what we need to do.
But no, you can't copy paste on this page, so we'd either have to do it entirely on mobile or take pictures, so that might have to be for later.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe we can do that on stream or something.
Yeah, we'll do this later. Okay, but I'm staying in this Discord now. They're from Idipia.
Idipia. What? Wait, where does the Y come from? Oh no,
right, because
idyllic.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I love word games.
You're good at them.
Thank you.
Never in my life would I have put it together.
Really? You're a professional writer.
Never in my life would I have put it together. So,
oh my gosh.
You know, MAVE may have NFTs, but they're also going to recover the lost emotions of mankind, which I feel like in this day and age we could use.
MAVE may have NFTs, but they are temporarily entertaining us, so we will follow them so you don't have to. You
know, and maybe with February's episode, we could come back with our empathy levels.
Yeah. Or maybe we'll do it on stream, because that would be really fun. Because, I mean, you have started streaming where I'm a streamer. You're at Kirani Des on Twitch, on the Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
In case it wasn't clear, MAVE is the last thing that we were going to talk about. I'm at Lotus Loves Lotus on Twitter and on Twitch. Those are my 2 most frequent platforms. However, as we alluded to earlier, Twitter is like really... We say this once a month. Twitter is really falling apart. Like, I'm concerned that one day the site will stop working. We're both also on Tumblr under the same usernames. We're not necessarily super active, but if there's a mass exodus, we will go there. So, you know.
Yep. Ready to go already.
My goodness.
So, like I said, I'm at Kirani Des everywhere. Very easy, very simple.
Should you spell that?
Probably, right?
I think so. I don't know if I know how to spell it if I didn't already know.
Do you want me to be honest? I do have to look it up really quick. How to spell my own username. CHIRONIDESS is how you spell it. There you go.
Mine is just Lotus Loves Lotus all together. No spaces, no hyphens or anything.
So that's it.
That's it. Thank you for joining us. We're a little bit late this month because we've been weirdly busy and kind of all over the place. And also this covered 2 months, so there was more to do. It is longer than we anticipated, which is becoming a running theme of the podcast.
But at the very least, this episode is automatically going to be 2 times longer than a regular one.
Well, we'll see once we start getting into the summer release schedule. So
you know, that may change because this is a slow time of the year. We'll see what happens come like March.
Yeah, maybe
April.
We'll also be more discerning. We were kind of flying by the seat of our pants. We wanted to talk about everything. It's been a minute. We've been itching a podcast, itching to be social in these times. So yeah, we'll hopefully be back with y'all around the beginning or middle of March to talk about everything that's happened in February, which we already have opinions about.
Yep. So look forward to that.
All right. Bye, everybody. Is this even a thing you do on podcasts? Do you say a lot of byes?
Yeah, you go like, okay, thanks everyone for hanging out. No, that's kind of more of a stream thing.
Right? I feel like I'm just used to streaming now.
Yeah, I haven't been a regular podcaster in about a year.
Azalea's probably cut us off by now.
Azalea, don't cut us off.